up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have something really special planned. So today our video is like the Q&A. So you guys ask some questions and we're gonna answer them. So that's why we have the computer out in front of us. So we've got the questions and we'll just go through each one and talk about it a little bit. But before we get into that, we have a very exciting announcement. So I've been working on revamping the website for, I won't even say how long, but it's been a little while.
A year.
Yeah, okay, thank you. It really needed some help. And so anyways, I have finally put it together enough that I feel comfortable letting people see it. So anyways, we're going to be, it's actually launched by the time this video goes up. So go check out our new website. It's SoldierSilverSnakes.com. I've got some, new information on there. Hopefully some of it's helpful. And then if you guys have other ideas of things that we should add to it, I know that we've been asked to have like a morph guide. And that is something that I am starting to compile, but it is a lot of work. And to be frank, I don't necessarily have all the answers to all of those things. So I'm doing my best. I'm trying to put something together so that there can be some sort of general guideline with that. But just so you guys do know, Craig Schrombauer is actually launching his new book all about Pituophis. It's supposed to come out this year. I don't remember exactly when. I think it was like May, because it got pushed off a little bit. Anyway, April, May, I think. And that is going to be an incredible resource for anybody that is interested in Pituophis. Craig is obviously like one of the, almost founders of the Pituophis industry. He's been around the block a while. He has this wealth of knowledge and is a great guy. So I would definitely recommend looking out for that. I know it'll launch soon, and you know what? We'll announce it on a video when it does finally launch, and I will be purchasing a copy, that's for sure. So anyways, but yeah, the website should be pretty cool, and if you guys do have other things that you think we should add to it, or questions about it, go ahead and hit us up about it. It should be pretty good. So anyways, let's get into the video.
Let's do it. All right. Someone asked, when did you officially start Summer Snakes?
Okay, so I officially started the business and got my first DBA and everything in 2018. So that was the year we got married, and so I had already been breeding the Pituophis before that and everything, but that was when I officially decided to throw a name on it and start it.
When did you get your first snake? Because that was before that, obviously, because you were breeding before.
Yeah. So I think that we mentioned this before, but anyway, I bought my first pits back in 2015. So the year after I graduated high school, pretty sure is when I bought my first ones.
Okay, next question. Why did you pick Pituophis to work with?
I feel like we've touched on this before too.
Yeah, we have.
Telling this story a little bit. I feel like I mentioned it. I also mentioned it on my website, so maybe I'm thinking of that a little bit. But I was always around them a lot as a kid, right? Because we could go catch them in our backyard out in Southern California. And so I had a lot of interactions with them as a kid. My parents had them when I was a young kid, and then they moved out of colubrids and got into the ball pythons, obviously. And then they moved back into colubrids back in 2012-ish, maybe. I don't remember exactly when. But they actually bought back into some of the Applegate San Diegos. They got their first couple of flame bull snakes and some Dyer San Diegos. I think that was what they initially got again. And so working for them, I started working with them a lot. And I just was reminded of how awesome they are, to be honest. And they're such a fun species to work with for me. And it was something new from the ball pythons, because that's what I had been around so much. And I really like their attitudes, which sometimes I don't, but they're really fun and easy to work with for me. And I just understood them. That sounds super cheesy, but I don't know. We just kind of clicked. So I wanted more. I got the addiction, so.
All right, next question. What was the first Pituophis species that you produced?
Well, yeah, so the first ones I bought in 2015 it was supposed to be a pair. It turned out to be 2 females, which was fine. But I picked up these 2 female San Diegos. They were albinos. The guy actually didn't know what line of albino they were. I was guessing that they were probably Bechdel. So T negatives, right? And anyway, it was just at a show in Las Vegas. I was like, look, I really want these. And so I went and bought them. It was like $200, I think, for the 2 of them or something. And they were like, sub-adult. They were like a decent size already. Anyway, and mom and dad had already had like their Applegate albinos at that point. So I crossed the streams a little bit. So I bred their Applegate male to my 2 females to see like if there was any compatibility. Anyway, I did actually end up producing albinos, so it's possible that they were actually from the Applegate line. I mean, unless the male had some Bechdel in him, but I don't think he did, because anyway, the people that mom and dad got the Applegates from were like a trusted source, so that line should have been pure. So anyways, I think mine at some point had Applegate, but they definitely were outcrossed. So anyways, those were the first ones. So San Diego's, those were my first ones I produced. Shortly after that, was when I got my first Sonorians. Those were like my next snakes, like the Christmas Mountains, I think, and the Lajitas. And then the Kankakee were next, and then the Janai.
And then it blew up from there.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway.
All right. What pit species, subspecies, is your favorite to work with that we have in the room, I guess? Because we have most of them.
Yeah, we have a lot, obviously. And I haven't necessarily got to like work with all of them like very long, because like some of them we just brought in this year, some new species, so that's like hard to answer. Which was my favorite? Do you have an answer?
I mean, I don't know. I think bull snakes just in general, because they come in like a variety of different colors, and I don't know, they're just awesome. Like, you don't get the same thing every time.
Yeah, no, the bull snakes are great. So yeah, Seiyai would definitely be up there. And bull snake is like all encompassing of, there isn't like multiple different kinds of bull snakes,
Yeah, there's a lot.
So, I mean, and you have like localities and morphs, which is great. And I feel like a lot of more, like work has been done with the bull snakes, which is nice because it's been explored. So there's, like you said, lots of variety out there, which is great. Obviously, like I really love the San Diegos. So the Anaktens, yeah, that's pretty high up on my list. But honestly, like I just have a very deep love for the pine snakes, and I don't know if I could really pick one. But like the Northern Pines, Melaleucas, like that's definitely pretty high up there for me. So
I mean, that's mostly what you've been working with, is the black and white Northern Pines. And
yeah.
Recently, we've gotten into some other ones.
Yeah, I know. I have the Magootis. Probably didn't say that how most people do, but anyway, the Florida Pines, which are super awesome. I can't wait to really start producing those, I guess. Obviously, I've had them for a number of years now, but
and we should hopefully maybe,
yeah.
Have some this next year or this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We'll see. They're young, and I didn't brumate any of them, but they're also like 5 feet. So it's possible. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Is that it? Next question?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, which Northern Pine project has more long-term potential? The high contrast, black and white, or the albinos?
Well, so I'm not really sure, like, if this question is directed more at, like, the market potential, so, like, resale value, or in terms of, like, the potential of, like, refining it, I guess. So, like, making better black and whites of higher contrast, or, like, making just better albinos, prettier albinos. I don't know.
Answer it both ways.
I will say that I think that albino refinement may or may not be more difficult. just because. So, okay, I don't know everything, so just take it easy on me. But anyway, I think that there's only like really like 3 lines of albinos for northerns. No, there must be more. Because there's supposed to be like Lemke's line, I think, and then there's like the locality lines, so the Ocean County, and then there's the Burlingtons. But there might be more actually, and I might just not know about them, which is totally possible and probably true. And so the only reason I would hesitate to say albino is because the bloodlines are more limited. So you'd have to do outcrossing probably so that you're not inbreeding too much, at least I would think. But in terms of like your black and white contrast, obviously like you wouldn't necessarily have to keep that within locality. Mine are all locality, so mine are all from Ocean County. But I know that there's like other ones that can get super high contrast as well. And so I think both have potential for refinement and both could be good. I do think that the black and whites are more striking to most people, and so that they're more popular, I would say.
Yeah.
So even for like market value and stuff, I think a really high contrast black and white might still get people's attention more than the albinos, even though the albino is like a morph, so it's technically more valuable, you could say, at least up front, but I'm not really sure. Maybe somebody that's worked with pines a lot longer than me might have a better answer for you, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're just getting into the albinos. We've only had the high white northerns.
Yeah, I haven't even produced albino northerns just yet. I mean, we were hoping to last year, our big Burlington female, but
she was big.
She was big, and she just anyway got egg bound, so that sucks. But we have potential to actually produce some head albinos maybe this year.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to produce them in the coming years, and then maybe I'll have a better answer. I don't know.
All right, what is your dream species or morph to work with? I guess in Pituophis.
Oh, just in Pituophis. I mean, my dream species was the Gibsoni, and I have them now, so check that box. So that kind of was like my dream species. I would still really like to get some Bimaris, which are your other capes. So, morph wise, I don't know. I have a lot.
I mean, yeah, you work with most of them. I think the tiger has a lot of potential, so we're excited for that one. And then there's some San Diego stuff that it's going to be pretty exciting, I think. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I do have like a lot of this stuff already that I've been like really wanting, and so I'm sure something new might pop out that I'll have to have, but at this point, I don't know if there's any other like morph that I'm really like daydreaming about. I mean, I want to produce my first blizzard in the bull snakes, so that's something I'd like to work on. Because it'd just be cool to like have, the 5 combo. It's kind of a big deal, but
yeah,
I don't know what else though. Oh yeah, this is for Spencer. So, what's Spencer's favorite project that we're working on right now?
Project. No, I may give up a project that I don't know if you've actually said it before or not, but
I'll censor it if you can't say it.
It's with the tigers, right? So we're trying to get ghost tigers. So this past year we bred a tiger to a ghost, and we got, I guess it would be triple heads, right? So we have those babies that will be growing up, and then hopefully getting some good odds and hit some tiger ghosts in a couple years. So super excited for that, and just some of this other Tiger Project stuff that could turn out pretty cool.
Oh man, I had to sneeze. Sorry. It went away. But yeah, that's a good one.
Why don't you answer that too? Your favorite project that we're working on.
I don't even know if I have a favorite, to be honest. There's like so many.
There is a ton of them, yeah.
Favorite project. Oh, I don't know. I have like some that are just fun for me, but not necessarily like gonna be high value. At least I would expect them to be. That are kind of cool, but I haven't really talked about them very much, so I probably still won't talk about them until I can prove it out. Yeah. In general, I think maybe just being able to actually reproduce out of the Lenticalis or the Gibsoni. That's like, I mean, it's not necessarily like a big morph project that I'm working towards or anything, but that is definitely something I'm like really looking forward to, and like taking my time with making sure that, you know, they're growing really well, and that I'll be able to get viable eggs out of them once they're ready and things like that. So I think that that one's pretty high up there, even though it's not anything like new or crazy, but it's something that I'm excited about. So
definitely.
Yeah,
those will be cool. All right, what's the most expensive snake you've bought and that you've produced?
Do I want to admit this on camera?
Well, the ones we bought, obviously the Gibsoni.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, the Gibsoni were the most expensive, like, singular snake that I've bought. So, obviously I've bought, like, multiple snakes from sources and spent, like, thousands of dollars on, like, a package deal thing. But in terms of just, like, a single snake's price tag, yeah, it was the Gibsoni. Yeah, the Lenticalis is, like, right up there, too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those two were the most expensive ones, I think. Yeah.
Definitely. What about ones that you produced?
Most expensive one I produced. So yeah, selling them as a baby. Most expensive one was from this past year. Is one of the tiger morphs, so the albino tiger. Which was like a het hypo, maybe blood. You know, there was like a weird mix of everything, I think, in that clutch. And so, yeah, I think it's the albino tiger. Came with a nice price tag, so that was the one. Over 1,000, under 2,000, gives you an idea. So, yeah. So far, anyway. I don't know if I'll be producing anything else super crazy, but I know that some of, you know, the more combos you work into things, like, the higher the price tag will go, and because it's more desirable too, right? So, market demand kind of determines a lot of that. And honestly, like, the other thing is like pricing does like vary a lot year to year. So every year, like, I evaluate the market and see what things look like, and I try to be really fair, to be honest. The tiger stuff is definitely on the higher end because, like, we're kind of the only ones that are really like producing it a lot, at least especially here in the United States.
Yeah, in the United States.
And so I know that overseas has it in some different countries. And obviously Europe has it, right? Because that's where I imported it from. But yeah, I think the price on those, they're one of the more expensive things besides like patternless, which is super desirable also. Yeah, so anything that's like a morph tiger or morph patternless is definitely gonna stay at like a higher price, probably for a little while, just because it's so popular and new.
And new, yeah.
Yeah, so.
How many different gopher snake species do you work with? So we actually have 4 of them, right?
I'm pretty sure it's 4. So we have like our San Diegos, and then the pair of capes, and then obviously all the Sonorans, and then we have the Great Basins.
All right. What's your feeding schedule for the babies, juveniles, and adults? Do you ever vary their diets with like chicks or quail?
Alright, so I don't vary their diet. At least not like 2 different species of food. So they just get rodents. So whether that's mice or rats. So I just feed mice or rats, and most of my adult stuff just gets rats. Although occasionally I will throw in mice for the females, to help with like their calcium intake during like, their reproductive cycles and stuff like that. So sometimes after they lay or even before they lay, I'll give them like a mouse here and there, because mice are higher in calcium than the rats. At least that's what I was told.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure that's what my mom was saying. Okay, anyway. But like the rats have a higher fat content, and so, but the mice are leaner, obviously a smaller meal, but anyways, so I do both sometimes, but most of my adults just eat rats. I usually start switching them from mice to rats around like 18-ish months, maybe. 18 months to 2 years. Just depends on their size. So I don't really start feeding them rats until they can take like a small rat. And so, anyways, I don't do like the rat pinks or that stuff at all on my stuff. They all just get mice when they first hatch.
How often do you feed them as a baby's up to adults?
So most of the time I just feed once a week. Depending on like certain situations, I'll end up feeding some maybe twice a week, like once every 5 days or something. But it just depends. Like if it's a female that's trying to put weight back on after laying eggs, then I might feed her a little more often than just the once a week. If it's something I'm trying to grow up, then I might feed it more than once a week. What I've been doing lately is just giving them like 2 meals at just once a week. So my grow up, sometimes they'll get 2 mice instead of just 1 every 5 days. Sometimes I'll just give them 2 at once. Obviously making sure that they can handle that kind of food intake, that they're processing it, digesting it really well still. So it's not like a huge food item, but it's like 2 good sized food items that they can still like eat well and be fine. So I try not to really like power feed a ton. Some of them just grow like crazy, which is great. Some of these guys respond super well to just food in general. But it's totally possible to overfeed these guys, and it's not something that I try to do. So I only do once a week.
Yeah. So does that change like during breeding season with your adults? Still once a week, or does that kind of just you play it by ear and?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so our food supply now isn't just next door anymore. It was really convenient when I could just walk through this door and go get what I wanted. But anyway, our rodent supply is actually a couple miles away now, so we have to drive over there and pick our stuff and everything. But so because of that, now we really only bring rodents in the room once a week. Although like I have stuff in the freezer and I'll use that sometimes too to like supplement, but still most of the time it's just once a week because of where our supply is at now. Before, sometimes I would feed like more intermittently if I felt like someone really needed it. But now if I do that, it's like just occasionally and I just grab something from the freezer or whatever. So
yeah,
it's not consistent at all.
Yeah. What's your favorite animal that's not a reptile?
Okay, this is actually easy. Well, okay. I love dogs, okay? So I'll just slip that in there because that's really true.
Exotic animals.
Okay, but a tiger is actually my favorite animal. I actually feel like we said that before because I remember saying like all of my reports in school were like on tigers.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
So, there was like 13 species of tigers and I like researched them all, even though like 5 are extinct now. But yeah, so tigers is probably like my favorite. I really like all of the big cats, your big like jungle cats and stuff. But yeah. Tiger's got to be the top one for me.
I'd have to agree. Jaguar, Black Panther.
Yeah. Copycat.
Okay, last question. Can we get a facility tour?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're here, but
I know it's hard because most of it's not even like our snakes. It's just like TSK Supply is what most of this facility is.
Yeah, in terms of this whole building, so the whole building, which is, you know, this big 20,000 square foot building, it's divided into 5 separate units. And so like the 2 units over there are all just like supply, and then this is the middle unit. This is where the snakes all are. We're, you know, insulated in the middle here. And then there's 2 more units on the other side, which is really just storage for the supply company. And so, in terms of the facility, I mean, this room that we're in is basically the snake facility.
Maybe we can give them like a video tour, like a different video tour of just like this room.
Just following me around one day.
Yeah, just start in the front and kind of just show them the snakes all the way to the back. Your parents too, you know?
Yeah, no, if you guys are interested in seeing that, like, it's pretty easy, you know? I'll sweep the floors first. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty clean in here right now, but the snakes in the room now only take up just this one half, so snakes are only on this side behind us now, and so there's not really a ton to see anymore, but yeah, we can show you guys around and show you guys where everything's at. It's really just in like a, what is this, like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet this way.
Yeah.
Like 60 feet from the sink to the back wall, and then 20 feet that way or something. So it's not like a huge area, but you know, the incubator, the Kluber incubator's right here, the big ball incubator's up front, the offices and stuff. But yeah, we can show you guys around if you guys are really interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that was all the questions.
Yeah, that's all the questions we had. If you guys have any other ones, just leave them in the comments and I'll make some or answer them. So
we can do it again if you guys come up with like a bunch of other stuff that you want to ask or however, and I'm happy to answer your questions. So even if you think it's silly, I'll answer it. Anyway. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Hope you guys have a great new year. It's 2025, and we're super excited to kick it off. Like we've been talking about, we've got so many really exciting projects, and some of them we might, you know, finally see a couple new results this year, and it'll be really exciting to produce a few new animals this year, and you know, give us a couple more years, and it's just gonna get better and better. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.